Day 2 of the moon. There's 3 days of the moon, right? 3 days of the moon before Sunday comes. If you take off your glasses right now, if you see this video, this is going to be my shortest video, you must go look at the moon again tonight. If you wear glasses, okay, depending what they are, stretch them out off your face and bring them back. If you're not wearing glasses, maybe you should put a pair of glasses on, okay? Our world was made so everything is straight. But I want to explain to you how God works, okay? With the way I see it, through my view, God ain't straight. He's crooked. Everything's upside down and inside out, okay? That's the way he works. He had to push and poke to make everything work. So why does God make everything even and it seems to work out? Because of the system. This is a cigarette pack. And what happens when God evens things out? They play hockey. And this wing opens up. Did you understand that? This wing closes. Because I bent this into two, both sides will come out even. So even if God is odd, both sides are even. And those are all rabbit ears, okay? The one at the end here, it's a Y. There's all kinds of different Ys. It's connected to one stick and it's cut by another stick. This stick over here, because it's longer, it's always the same size. Everything is the same size. That's why everything fits all, okay? Like I once saw these little beads, okay? And it's these beads. That's who we are. We're like a little bead. We're like a pinball. We're inside a little ball that's inside of us, and we're on the outside of the ball that's rolling all around. Except we have our feet and arms, and we can choose what to do, where the ball is just rolling. That's why he put 2 feet to stand on. You see, when you put a brace between your 2 feet, right, you can't walk anymore. So you have to separate your 2 feet. So the angle of the angel, which is the letter A, inside is the delta D, because it's the fourth corner. When the fourth corner was created, that's when he opened up the delta world. Okay? It's a delta world, but it's beta delta, BD. In the electronic world, BED. Okay? In the angel world, BAD. Okay? Things are backwards on the other side, because one is on one side and the other's on the other side. So if this is going this way, the other one's going this way. And you always ask yourself, how do they meet? How do they meet? Very simple how they meet. They meet like this. You understand? You know what this is? It's a crown. That's the reason it's a crown. Because it meets. You become a king. Because you become just like the king. So it becomes a crown. At the same time, if you look, okay, this letter, I'm gonna cut this out. I normally don't do that. Okay? This is a jack. I put 2 of them together. I'll cut them both out. Okay? And can I connect this like this? They're supposed to be connected like this, which makes a bird. But when you cut it off, I shouldn't be doing this. I should show you a whole drawn picture. Okay, how it works. Oh, I got to do it quick. Where's my pen? I keep losing my pen. Lost another pen and I didn't go far. Okay, I'm going to use a straight black. I went out and bought a couple of books and I found out I had books at home. So what happens is the king is what sets up. The king sets the table, okay, for the queen. And the way he sets the table, I'm doing this as I talk because it always changes, because I always find something new, live, on this cassette. It's not like I wrote it all down and I know it all, because I don't know it all. Because everything's at the end of my nose and I got to breathe in the air from the energy of the matrix, breathe it in through my mouth, listen to it with my ears, and then go to the bathroom and get rid of the rest of it. So whatever goes down the pipe goes up the tube and back to God, and he's got the energy and he knows all about you. And that's what the moon is all about tonight. The moon is shaking. That's why I told you about the glasses. It's shimmering, the moon. Take a look at the clouds. They're all running towards the moon. They're blocking it tonight because a lot of shit, oops, sorry about that word, there's a lot going on up there. Today is 11/11/11, which means 33. Okay, Jesus Christ, which means 3 days connect. I'll start and do it this way. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday connect. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday connect. Okay? And because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday connect, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday connect, okay, what you end up with is this. 111 222 333. The reason for that is, okay, is because the first 3 days, okay, belong to one side. Odd, even, odd. And the other day is the Wednesday in the middle. The 2 is the Wednesday. In Spanish, they call it the day of miracle. Because on that day, what happens on a Wednesday is that box is created. Because that box, you start from the left side to the middle of the box, and you start from the middle of the box to the right side of the box. Don't you see there's a wall standing up there? So that splits your week up. And when John Lennon sang 8 days a week, if nobody in the world knows what it's all about, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe what I do know, what I calculated, what works out. The reason we work this way is because 1 and 3 is the only creation. There is no other creation. Okay? So Wednesday, you double up with God and beta God. They both work together on the Wednesday. One comes in, one goes out. Wednesday, W, beta creation. Okay? Tuesday, transfer, T letter. Okay? God's creation. Because 20 explains everything before it. Beta starts her world and all the way up till 30. Okay? And then it counts backwards. 10, 20, 30. Then we go into the next mode. Okay? Where 4 number on your telephone meets the 5 number. 40, F, F-O, R, T, Y, 50. Wait, it's a 5. It's supposed to be 5T. But there is no 5T. Because everything that passages into 5 is not a T. It's an angle. Okay? Or it's a line. But it's not a T for transfer. Okay? So when you get 5th, F-I-F-T. Because it's 6 and it's going to 6. It's beta going to 6. From 6 to 6. 40, 50, and then you start with 6. And the only way 6 works is with the spirit. S for 6. For 6T, because there's a transfer. And one of the ways the transfer room works is, I'm going to try and design this best I can. Okay. On one level and on the other level. Okay. The house of beta is in the center. Okay. The house of beta is in the center. You see the T? It's a T in the middle, but because it touches the top part of your tic-tac-toe and the bottom part of your tic-tac-toe, you end up seeing the E. So you have E world one way, E world the other way. One on one side, one on the other side. This has to get broken up, okay, into 4. Well, everything gets broken up, but I just want to show you what the angles do when they get broken up. Okay, this is a 4-way street. There's a Y in the road. The angle of the moon, okay, which is happening tonight, the moon is vibrating. Okay, like I said in a previous video, everything that comes off of us goes back into the sun. The sun gives it back to us and it puts it into the earth. It sends it off to the animals and it tells the animals what we're like. You don't think? You don't believe? Well, look at this internet. The only way for anything to work, I can send out my message in every single language in the world because the internet will change it. God was waiting for that. There's no way I can speak 172 languages, but I am going to pray to God and see if He'll help me out, because I prefer to speak in your own language, whether you're from Haiti or whether you're from Finland, the fin of the dolphin, the jumping dolphin of Australia. The fin is a recommendation. It's a 5. The 5 in Canada is blue, the electronic world. So we know Finland is now a connection. We know Vienna has a connection, because V is life, and N is the 2 passages of 5, which is 14 and 23. And that's the center of the roulette board. And there's a hexagon right there, and it stands for 111. And 8 by 111 is 888, and you do it on both sides of the board, you got 1776. You see, 72, 74, 76. 72 is God beta. 74 is Jesus, because He's the 4 angles of Christ. He's the 4 angles of beta. He makes up. And 76 is the spirit of man. 76 and 67, how much is that equal to? 76 and 67. Let's go 70 and 7. Would that be 143? And 143, I'm going to show you what that means. Okay? 143 goes like this. Where is it? The one angle, okay, of 4 of 3 in the center. The 3 in the center here, okay, would most likely be, on your roulette, it's supposed to be 2, 5, 8. But when it gets into the beta world of creation, it becomes the 14, the 17, and the 20. And it's the 17 and the 20. This is the 14, this is the 23. I made a little mistake. This is the passage. And the passage starts on roulette at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 is the passage, and the crossover between the first 18 and the second 18. So tonight the moon is shimmering, okay? It's sending out messages. And how this all works is when the evil get to evil, because money is green, okay, and the 5 in horse racing is green, and it means a passage point. Money takes you to a lot of places, so it's a representation of that. So when evil takes over the money, when a new red devil comes in and takes over the money, okay, it's a call. It's a call from the wild, wild west. Why? Because God is on the other side, on the other side, on the other side. 23, 46, 69. 6 plus 9 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6 man again. So that's why it goes like that. 69, 79, 89, 92. 9 and 2, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. So the 2 beta of the 6 man equals 8 of the heavens. So I know it's hard to understand. It's all new for me too. You know, I went to buy pencils and the colors of the pencils. I was studying the color. And you know what's funny? It's that, first of all, to jump off the subject, I think the cherry, okay, the black cherry of God is his son. It's the spade. He's the nav, the navette. He's the one he's the jack that takes everything everywhere. I know I'm jumping off subjects because it just comes into my head, boom, boom, like that. I'm going to try and show you what happens to the nav, okay? So because we are built from the nav. We are 2 parts of a jack curled together into a heart, creating our body, okay? And I'm going to try and see if I can get this done. So the nav starts out like this and ends like this, and the nav starts out like this and ends like this. Okay. Do you see those? That's the jack. I added a J to that word, okay? The lines that are continuing, okay? The lines that are continuing, right here and right here, okay? I'm going to show you something. Look, well, my camera moved. Look at the angle of that ace, okay? I made a funny line on the other one by mistake. But look at the angles of the 2 aces. One is tilted one way, one is tilted the other way, okay? And with that line, when I draw it on the bottom to connect, it automatically has no line over here. The line is here for the ace because there's a connection. When you play tic-tac-toe, you get 3 X's, you connect them. It's the same basically thing, but God's tic-tac-toe works, you know. So his connection works. So what happens is this over here, when you draw the line on the bottom, it ends up looking like delta, but a tilted delta. They're both crooked because God's a crooked delta. That's what he is. When he spreads out, when God spreads out and becomes an ace angel, then he basically looks like that ace. Because on our earth, okay, that's what you do to stand it up. Now, if I remove the line and move the line over, okay, I end up with this, okay, and now you got axe. Now what God does, he connects the spirit through the center, and now instead of having the line in the middle, right, we now have the line here, stabilizing Mad's body. Now this over here is the hip section on our body. These are the legs, okay. This dot over here, okay, is basically something to do, I don't know, but I'm going to jump off subject. Should I continue with this or jump to the prostate and Movember, which I'm going to do in the next cassette? And like I said, everybody who watches this, please, if you see a mistake, if you want to know something, if I tell you to remind me of something, please remind me, okay? This information comes in by the second. It continuously updates. I continually must update. I've got papers all over the place. I found, we're gonna go back to the nav, so try and remember where we are. 289th day of the year, XCW. X stands for the X-Man or the Rain Man in my head of creation. Okay, you see the way the W is made? You see the way it's not empty, it's sharp and it's all filled in because the C is full. And hold on, I'm stuck a little here. The C is full. I'm on the wrong side. I can never figure this out on my... And you see right over here and over here, this is the in, okay, of the negative positive, and this is the bee stinger, okay? God comes down, okay? Oh my God, I've got things all over the place here. God comes down with his rod. He takes his lightning rod, the yellow lightning rod of energy that brings the red spirit right into the W of beta, which is 1 on the one side. There's an X you don't see, but at the same time, there's a star inside there. Now, the 289th, okay, call of creation, well, on a leap year, and that's the year we have to count for Jack, I think, if I remember, there are 76 days left in the year. 7 to 359 and 6. 76 days. But on a leap year, there's 77 days from this license plate. Do you know what this number is? 289th day of the year. Let's see, 31 in December, 30 in November. Would that be 30 in November? 289. I know I'm doing this with, you can fast forward it. 30, 31 is 61, and this is 76, 70, 280, 259, 76, and 77. So I need to take off, that would be about October 14th. February to March to April to May to June to July to August to September to October to November, December, January, February. Around in a circle? What? October 14th to November to December to January to February. Exactly 4 months from Halloween. How perfect can you get? Okay? So anyways, we have the 77 days left in the year. Then we had this license plate. Heaven transfer of Jack. And then we had 982. 2 times 8 is 16. 9 times 16, 90. 9 by 6, 54. 144 midway angels traveling the skies with these 3 license plates. There's a story in everything you touch. God transmits it somehow. It gets to us. We don't know about it because nothing seems real. Anyways, right now I'm going to get back to the prostate in which I was talking about, and the nav. So let's talk about the nav first. And the one thing about the nav, okay, he's cherry coke. Okay, look how dark that diamond is, because the nav is within the king. What you see here, okay, is ace, jack, and king. The queen, okay, is the creation. When that triangle gets finished, that's the queen. That builds the bridge. So, what I'm going to do, do I build the bridge on the bottom or the top? I don't know which way to build the bridge. We're going to build the bridge this way. Okay? I'm going to go and build the bridge this way. Now we have a bridge that grows across. Okay? And the reason what this bridge is an explanation bridge. Because if you turn it this way, it says 1010. Okay? Do you understand that? It says 1010. That way. This bridge, right now, that's being developed, under construction, I'm going to use another color to go on to the next phase, okay, in which this shouldn't even be happening. I'm doing it this way because I have no choice. This heart goes in, this goes in, it's supposed to come down, this is supposed to go out. Okay, now, what this is these are entrance and passages, because we have to get 1 and 3 over to beta, okay, to create and come down here. With the yellow energy, she's moved. It's a caution energy that's freeing. Why a caution? Because she's transporting the red spirit into the nav. We have to watch out the exterior of the nav doesn't take advantage. Okay, so we're building beta. So now we use the ace, the jack, the queen, and beta's right here in the center. I'm going to color her in a little bit, and that's what you call bridge. So for all you people who are out there, I have not studied this. I'm just working on it right now. But according to this, I have built a bridge over Beta's world so the oceans don't rock. Beta is now full. We begin the game because the surface is flat. What I mean is they tied the islands in. Okay? The letter W will go below this, and it'll show you, okay, that the W, it'll go up and down like this, and what it does is it goes into the sand, and the islands won't move. It's like an anchor. We are anchored in the sky, and then this earth, the land, is anchored into the ocean or the waters, because I told you. I didn't tell you, I explained to you that the waters, when you dig down, you hit water, or you hit oil, or you're in a mountain and you get to a lake. So it's always like that. So the game bridge that they play, it's building, okay, and crossing over from one side to the other side. Now there's 4 players, so what do you have? One up here, one up here, one in this corner, one in this corner, because we're building. But we have to play across. We don't play cross corners in this when they play bridge. Shouldn't they be playing cross corners? Well, the points are here. Here's a point, here's a point, here's a point, here's a point. So you sit across from your player, you call out different codes, and those codes you're calling out while playing bridge, that's how God made the bridge. Read the rules, understand the game, and you will learn about creation. And I'm not kidding, because I believe it, because the numbers work every single time. Will I be wrong one day? I'm hoping. And if I am wrong, I'll have to accept it in advance. But I do not want to lose the ability to attain the information. That's the only thing that scares me in this life. Although I know God is real and everything, my computer's been doing a lot of weird stuff lately. And one of the reasons is because the matrix, okay, and the energies get caught in the satellites, okay? It's like a clothesline out there. So they get caught in the satellites. So God goes under the ground. That way he doesn't miss. So I think I already said a couple of days ago, maybe a week or so ago, I said the Dow was going to go down, and then it dropped 280 points the next day. I talked about the moon last night, and it's still up there. It's still shaking. I know we're going to talk about it. Look it up tomorrow, the moon and what happened last night, the night before about the moon for 3 days. This is the time of Jesus Christ that's happening. The same numbers are showing up. Who am I to say that? Well, I only know what I calculate, and this pencil tells me a story. You see the gold line on top? The color? That color goes with gold. You see this one? That's a gold band. These are gold rings. Means this color comes from the creation. Okay, the number on this pen, so, is 154, which is a pencil of the one spirit of love. Okay, why is it the the 3 spirit of love? Because the 3 spirit of love is the 3 number, and in horses it's white. When you mix the white with the blue, of the electronic blue, you get this color. So it says it right here on the pencil, and it says from what world also. It says 92, which is the birth of the 2, which is the beta world, of O, which means 10, of the one spirit. It's the 154 of love. Now I got a silver one. What do you think the silver one would be? The silver one says 9201, the same thing, but now it says 251. 251 is passage, okay, into area 5 of the one spirit. It's silver. The transfer of the energy is silver and gold, is it not? The wiring, the copper wiring, every energy has a different color, and it wires up. So I'm not the one who's going to make creation. It's these colors and these pencils. Whoever can implement this into a calculating tool, I mean, I can do it myself, but into a machine, we're going to get out, and it's going to show you exactly how this world was created. I mean, I'm just going to show you, jump off a little bit. Oh, no, I have to do this. I have to do this. The prostate cancer, pro-state, pro-cell, pro and cell. Okay? Cell is salt. The Mediterranean is drying up. They want to send the Black Sea inside the turquoise Mediterranean. Just say the names, and that turquoise is going to turn what? I don't know if you can transfer those two. Or, if you do and turn it black, do you know what that means? That means our story is going up to God. More now than ever before. When you turn black, okay, it means that area is used. And that story is going up and up and up, and it's going somewhere. Okay? I'm quite sure all around the world now. Okay? Although it's not happening exactly now, it hasn't stopped happening since day one. God was waiting for this day. This day is the most special day in the history of man, in my mind, because it's the 2000 year, which is beta cycle of the 10, God's cycle into beta, 2000, okay, and the 11 That means 2 is beta. We're not on 10 explanation like last year, 10, 10, 10 expression. Look up last year, October 10th. It was an expression year. This is 11, 11, 11, and falls on Jesus Christ, command and create. This never happened before. The 33 and the 20 together make 53, which is the third passage, okay, which is the greener pastures, because if you look at the horse 5, it's a green. You see, the game of pool happens to tell us about our universe because of the number of balls there are, and 9 on one side, 7 on the other, 16 total, 1 spirit of man, 6, total of 7, 9 by 7, 63, which is the number of moons on Jupiter, but 6 plus 3 is 9, and that's all the positions you have of the 7, because here goes in and here comes out, so you can't use that. Man goes around and in and the other side out, so you can't use 2 of the 9 every single time in every single world. 7 and 9, 7 and 9, 7 and 9, 9, 9, 9, 27, 3 by 7, 21, 21 and, what did I say again? 27 and 20, is it 27 and 21? 9, 9, 9 and 21, right. 27 and 21 make 48, 4 and 8 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, creation. So already you explained that Jupiter is the transfer and the middle of our universe. Okay, there's many middles of this universe, and they all balance each other. Okay, there's a core in the universe, okay, and I think that still is in Jupiter, that balances everything. You need the center, you need the 2 sides, and you need the underneath. Okay, how to balance a scale. Okay, and you're always using this, because what happens, okay, if this is not balanced, if I put my finger here, okay, here, it can go all the way up to here, but it can't go any further. This angle is a 45 degree. That's all God lets happen. Why? Because at 45 degrees, you're halfway. This letter is an expression of the letter Z. This letter is an expression of the letter N. The letter Z is the 26th letter is 8. The letter N is the 14th letter is 5. 5 on 8 is lucky or unlucky number 13, because if you pull out the queen, your 13 becomes a 12 and creation doesn't happen, because you only have 1 3. Nothing else. Everything goes back to 0. Anyways, back to prostate cancer. The salt in the Mediterranean. Mediterranean means creation of birth. The salt in your prostate has to do with birth. Again, the salt. Okay, now what's happening? Is it only the salt's fault? Are we not getting enough water? Is there not enough air coming in to transport that salt? I'm taking lithium, you know, okay? And that salt is supposed to transmit that energy. Maybe that's why I'm like this. It's from the lithium that I take. Maybe that's why I'm able to connect. That salt is a connection. Another thing is, the salt is also used when you cook pasta, so it doesn't stick together, like cotton candy and taffy. So they shove it in the ocean with the electric, so maybe it smooths out the electric and smooths out the ocean. Check the skin of the fish, how scaly it is, and they need a protection from it. So they add the salt to the water so the fish can breathe. And not only that, salt, I forget, does it have anything to do with breathing? Because if it has anything to do with breathing and transporting of air, of an energy of air, then the prostate must breathe. And if there's too much salt or not enough salt, that might be the fault of, what do you call it? What's that other thing? The liver? Is it the liver that passes? All our little things there. It's not a, I'm telling you one thing, okay? I don't know what cancer is, but cancer is CC, command and create. So it's commanding and creating. Since it's in the can, okay, it's creating from underneath where your can is, where you go to the bathroom, and everything in you is information. So maybe if we're liars, we're going to get sick even more. It attacks us from the inside out, and you don't have to do anything wrong. And if you don't get enough germs on your hand, it's not good, because your body never gets to learn. But then when you get a germ on your hand, you're getting it from somebody else, you're picking up their energy, you get sick from them, or you trap it, and you take advantage of it, and you don't let the dirt bother you. You say, I'm strong and I'm over this dirt. My hand is dirty, okay, but nobody has it. You see that fold in the hand? Take a look how straight it is. It's not a crease. It doesn't stay creased. Look at your hands. I got 2 oceans, 2 passages, 1 on each hand. My fingers, busted all my fingers. Doing all kinds of stuff. All my fingers, all my hands are here. 50-year-old guy, look at these hands. A lot of writing on it, eh? Another thing is the nicotine, and you see the yellow come off. You see this picture here? This is the beginning of the outlet of beta, okay? She comes in and she goes out from different passages, okay? Okay, and I'm going to show you how she goes in and how she goes out onto this. I know there's one closed passage. Okay. This is beta. All those lines I added. Now she has a passage. Now the passages have to come out over here. This is an octagon that I did, and all I did is stretched out the lines, because when people talk about millions in life, all they're talking about is 1,000 lines, because it's the 1,000 lines of life that created us, okay, in every single scenario, because you can't get any more because the lines don't fit. So we end up with that. Some lines are ingoing, other lines are outgoing, okay? Which way do you want the world? If you fold this in half, okay, just a little bit more, it becomes the cat and the communication. C-A-T, command, communicate, angel transmission, coming in, dog, cat and dog. And if you didn't see my other video, guess what? The representation of our planets are apples. Most of the planets are surrounded by a core just like the orange. The sun is an apple. The reason for that, it's got 2 ears, the sun. The sun has 2 ears. I'm going to show you the 2 ears on the sun. Do you know Dumbo the elephant? That's one of the reasons for Dumbo the elephant. He's all gray, okay, but those ears are the sun. And what happens now, okay, is we have to put it in an envelope and protect it. Okay, so now we have this. We have the elephant inside the sun. This is an orange, okay? They call it a citrus fruit, okay, because of the energy that's inside the citrus that gives off the great taste and juice. Although it's sour, it's good. This sun is inside this orange now. And now it pulsates out to us. Notice what the sun does and where it actually points to, okay? It points to all its children. Pluto, Saturn, Uranus. Uranus is a 7-3 count across from Earth. That 7-3 count means that what's going in of your eyes and your nose and your ears is coming out your butt end, because it says Uranus. Quebec says kiss and ass. Okay, so things have to come in and go out. The energies are constantly moving. If you're sad, or if you do a good thing in life and you're happy, Rain Man in here gets all wet. But when you're sad and unhappy, you get all wet, and Rain Man is dry, because you're unhappy and he dries out because of the salt. You're taking away the water from inside, but that's restoring inside the mind that water. So it's good to cry. It just equalizes the balance with Rain Man inside here. And when he puts his coat on when it rains, he's happy. Because, you see, during this project that I started, I want to cry. But I stop because I'm strong. But if you don't cry, you don't eliminate, okay, the bad salts inside you. That's the way I look at it. It keeps the ocean flowing. It opens up so the water doesn't only come out your eyes, but it comes out all over inside your body. And then you taste it. And it tastes like the ocean salt. Because the constant electricity that's going through us is salt from the ocean. It's the way it works. Breathe on me, I breathe on you. We breathe on each other. Well, the same thing is happening just because the sun is so far away. Look at the clouds. They accumulate and they rain. But God chooses what to do. Anyways, in this next picture, what I'm doing is I'm going to see if I can connect these lines properly. I'm not really sure which way to go with these. Okay. And I'm going to try my best so you can understand what I'm doing. We're connecting the lines of the hookup of beta. She's an octagon. The octagon means October for 10 in her representation. Okay, the 4th angle of God, October 4th, of the year of birth spirit of 1963, and it just so happens to be my birthday, and this is the way it works out. You have a B on this side, you have a B on the other side, but take a close look. If you cut up that B, you actually have a 3, and if you cut it with a line, it turns to 13. But if you can't see the inside out, that's a heart, and the other one's a heart. You're 2 hearts, and that's what's between you. The center of the universe is right here. It's in beta, between you and your angel. That's your counterbalance. The other part, another central place, is Jupiter and the sun. The sun's got black moons. Those black moons happen to deal with the same reason for the apple. the bottom of the apple has bumps on it because there's many connections that grow that apple. Well, the same thing happens in the sun. Okay. Another thing with the sun, you always see those lines that go around and around and around like that. Can you see that? Or not? The sun lines. Well, that's part of the matrix. It shoots out from the sun and it goes around and around, and it's like a whirly wind and it comes to us. Prostate, yes, something to do with the soul, but also a lot of this has to do with the mind, because if we knew where the grocery store was to repair our body and our mind, okay, I'm going to repair my prostate right now. I'm having a problem with my salt. Should I cry? I'm going to die. Or should I not cry? Should I try and do the energy? Well, the energy comes out in love. The understanding of love is what gets you to want to do the work for God. If you don't work for God and keep the land up and keep everybody connected, the system falls. We are the energizer of the sun. The rabbit ears we do not show, okay, are basically in this mustache that we wear, which comes out through the two nostrils, okay, of the soul, beta, electronic world, soul, okay, the Holy Ghost. The soul is the Holy Ghost. The soul must be the Holy Ghost, because you never see it, and yet it makes all decisions in life, and then it's you. So are you scared of yourself? Can you look in the mirror? Go look at your eyes. That's the background. The eye color that we see here, that's the background of where your eyes actually came from. So mine came from the ocean. I'm like a fish. Therefore, the fish tail and the fishes of all, and the dolls and fins and fives, and Finland and Denmark. The den is the mark. The fin is the land. The rushing into everything, take your time, you're an astronaut or a cosmonaut. But then in America, the freedom was all. And that's what actually freed up the liberty of the computer system. I think if it wasn't for the United States and Europe, and more the United States than anything else, because we jump onto things, we get addicted and we want to go. Thank you for the liberty of the United States, that this computer system is up and I can get the message out from wherever it comes from inside me, out to you, whoever has any interest. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to do a cassette on Movember. I'm going to probably finish off this star. But before I finish off the star, I just wanted to throw a few things out at you. Okay. One of them, remind me in a cassette. I got to do a cassette on this. It's Nave. Okay. When you take a look at the name, Andalos, it says A-N-D, and lost. Lost, and. Lausanne, okay, A, angel, N, 5, position of the D, angle, L, life, the water world of Los. Navet, that's the jack, that's the bad jack, look at his color, okay, he tastes funny, okay, he tastes sour, that's the jack that surrounds, okay, the king, that's our body, and all the energies go around, that's why the nav, okay, who transfers all this energy, he doesn't get to take part in life. Chris the Bird sang the song. Chris the Bird knows the music. Shom FM has all the songs. I'm not going to use every radio station. I'm just going to tell you what I listen to. And this music tells you the story of all creation. All you have to do is put the pieces and parts together. But Chris the Bird, oh my God, he connects. There's got to be more words. Even when there's sounds of drums and everything, I can tell you where the drum comes from. Because of the sound and the vibration, it'll make a letter. The letter will create a color and then come back to me. Then I got to figure out which place that color goes. Because sometimes it's a color code and the same color goes in 2 places. The other thing I want to show you, the race is the way. They separated everything with a dot because there's more in raceway. They're talking about JC, which is on top, which is the Jack connection, the creation of Jack, which is actually us. Is the wood green? Then the race. Arc, or archangel, angel resident, okay, of angel of the Father creation. In the E world, the W was beta creation, okay, the creation of the electronic machine of beta, because it's the EW, okay, and W is the 23rd letter. And then you have the angel of God, which is 1. And then you have the Y, which is beta angel, because the split in the road goes for man. R, 18th letter equals 9. A, first letter equals 1. C, third letter equals 3. E fifth letter equals 5. W 23rd letter, 2 and 3 is 5. A first letter equals 1. Y 25th letter equals 7. 27th letter equals 9. All odd numbers. All God. This is the race. Sun, day. 19, 21, 14, 4, 1, 17. So in there, there's a sun and there's a day. And the calculation in March 10th, okay, was the March of the Dime. I just picked up this book out of this, and it was number 1. You see that curve in number 1? The reason there's a curve in number 1 is because when they pack, don't forget, what they do is they take a cassette, they cut it in half, a disc cassette, and the inside ball runs, and another ball runs this way to read the cassette, but the cassette is cut in half. Because another thing, when they created this one, this is the way it was created, like this. They had to put this here, and the one had a dent in it. You see? The one? You see? It's the way it works. It's called the core. Turns, and it turns, and it turns. But I don't know the way that system works 100% yet. Another thing I have on here, Richie Rich Comics. Look at those blue diamonds and ice. Okay? In the United States, in Antarctica, an iceberg just went away. It just left. It's going to melt. When a big iceberg melts, this time, you freeze in hell. Hell is unfreezing. God is calling up His children back into the heavens by the notification of the crack in Antarctica. And it's not me. It shows it right here on Richie Rich Comics. Okay? And Harvey, the heaven angel resident, and they're all capitalized, okay? And we all know capitals only belong to God. God capitalized the I forever and ever. It's I. We're all I's. And you cannot make an I, okay, a trademark. So instead of saying I is a trademark, they said the iPod. But the reason for the iPod, okay, in the next description of something, I'm going to try and show you. Very bad design. Very bad design. The mushroom. Whoop, my camera went off. No. The mushroom. Why? Because that's actually the club. That's God. He's the mushroom. He's the Mario mushroom. And the reason he's the mushroom is somebody's got to sit on something. He creates a mushroom so Beta can sit on this mushroom. Okay? And we all know how communication works, right? And we all know what a club looks like. Take a look at your cards. That's what the club looks like. It's our brain. It's communication. It's the transfer of energy. The other thing I wanted to do was just for fun. It was to show you that this is a little bit of how the system puts together. I was able to scribble on this page. If you see what this looks like before I start, now I want to show you something right there. Right there. You see the star in the middle? Looks like a car. That's the free parking in Monopoly. FP. The other one I wanted to show you, did you ever see this picture? This is the way the matrix works. This is designs of scariness. Okay, now let's see. Can we see it like this? Maybe I'll do it one more time. And that's basically what God does too. He fans the operation to push it through a little bit further. 43 minutes. And I didn't even do anything I started in practice today. Oh my God. What's next? Do I have anything next? Besides this. Oh yes. Oh my God. Yes, there is one thing I wanted to show you before I go. Where's that book? Where's the book? Where's the book? This is not the book. This is not the book. I'm sorry I'm not there right now, but I can't find my book. This is not the book, and this is not the book. I'm not very happy that I can't find the book, because I made a design, and I want to see that design somewhere. Where's the book? It's insane. I just had it in my hand. Oh, it's right here. Is this. I went to the dollar store and saw the 8. Now the 8 was missing over here, like in the piano. You know the tunes in the piano and all these? It's a connection. It's opening on two sides. And in between these lines that go through, those are the tic-tac-toe lines, okay, to create the board. These lines on the side are the same lines as I created here, the tic-tac-toe. So what you see now, these two lines, every time it separates, okay, 2, 2, 2, it's saying 11, 11, 11, 11. And on the top, okay, it says 1, 1, 1, 1. And on the bottom, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. And 1, 1, 1, 1 is 2, 2, 2, 2. Now you have to take it like this, and 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 like this. 8 directions, because that's the way the world is, okay? 45 degrees, okay? 22.5, 11.25, 5.125 the Mayan count. So you turn it all around, and you multiply it by 8, 1776. Now you want on 16 years, okay? Just like in 2016, you have to add on 16 years for the one spirit of man to be in operation. You get to 1776, 1792, which means the birth of Beta. 222 years later, July to August to September to October, okay? And 3 months, 222 in 3 months, exactly, I think, or less a day. That's October 4th, 2014. And then it would be it would be April 5th or 15th, 2016, or March, April, May, the inauguration of the conscious mind coming down. So there's a big change going on. So if there's a big change here, all the energies will push. It'll push us one way, and if we get strong or weak, or we're strong, the other side is trying to get stronger too. So now we're in a time of basically, this is the ghost of the entire life of what everybody saw in all those movies of Halloween and everything else. Well, guess what? It's coming to a point right now. Don't burst the bubble, because every bubble that bursts, the universe comes down. So we recreate another one, and it goes up. And if you're thinking about what pi is all about, you want me to show you what pi is all about for me? Because the Chinese do it this way. It's God's curve. Because he's one piece of the element that's left out, and he's always pumping in spirit inside the matrix. So there's a curve in pi. So there's really another way to do pi, in which I have not completed the procedure, okay, because I don't know if people will agree with me. It's a big thing, and there's a lot of other elements out there in the world. Thank you very much for listening. Please pass this on. This is not for me. If you believe anything in energies in this world, a God of any sort, I don't care what God you pray to, if you believe that there's something stronger above you, that's fine. God will accept that. He has no choice. He made 100 different churches just to try to bring groups together. He wanted to bring man back together, so he set up groups, set up churches all over the place. Put Jesus out here. He could have shut his mouth and go home, Jesus. No. He could have stayed here and died at 90, Jesus. Jesus wasn't here for that. He knew that. He came here to spread the word. And he spread the word until everybody knew, and then they had to eliminate him. Well, it continues on in life, okay? You got to believe in what you know, and also you believe in where you're going to return to. So if you know you're returning to hell, you know you might stop talking now. But I don't believe that, and I ain't stopping to talk, because if the message is coming in, I'm going to continue to talk. And I'm just saying, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. We must like and go. I'm not looking for the money in here. I'm going to tell you one thing. If this thing hits, I'm going to get all kinds of money. And it ain't the money, because if I get money, I have power, and I can stay home and wash my hands and do a little bit more work for the Lord. And that money will spread out, okay, and I'll be able to spread, and then I can start my own iPod business. What does it mean, an iPod business? It means covering the entire planet and connecting everybody together regardless of the God, but to base everything on the 10 commandments only, because it was the 10 that created everything. So everybody must accept these 10 commandments, and after that, do what you want. Because once you accept them, you know them, and you won't want to do anything more but to understand them. And when you understand them, the moon will get strong and the moon will vibrate, and that's why it's tsunamis that we get. There's another thing. Remind me in another cassette to talk about tsunamis. What happens down in Louisiana, splitting the Mississippi between Highway 65 and 55. There is no 45. It runs over to 35, and that's why 35 is in all this damage, because it's man going all the way around and connecting back in Kansas. It's the cross of Jesus. I'm not going to get onto the interstates right now. Washington apples, the New York apples. I said in a previous preview, the original 6 hockey teams makes a Big Dipper, and if you continue that Big Dipper, you end up at the Liberty Bell. Remind me to talk about all sports and how many games they play and the points they score. I'm probably going to start off with NFL football, because they have 11 men on the field. I have to count the coach for 1, and I have to count the referees. I'm not sure if I count the referee for 1 or 2. or 3, because man and beta and God is all involved. So there's an expression inside the game. So whatever game you play, 162 games, is actually the Z letter representing 8, the heavens, baseball, and it also makes the baseball diamond by putting 2 Ks together. You put 2 Ks together. You want to know the reason for Y2K? I'm going to show you the reason for Y2K in this video right now. If you've never seen it before, it's going to be hard. I have to color over my last thing. This is the reason for Y2K. Okay, because it's the Y in this that goes to this. Okay, where's the Y? There's a K in here. Do you remember how I built this? Here it is on this side. Okay, now what I'm going to show you, okay, is when beta splits, when beta connects to both sides right there, she makes the letter Y. And when she stands up to this one, it's a 4. When the Y, which is a V in the road actually, stands up to this one, it's a Roman numeral 6. Now you notice the little thing in the center? Well, if you're Hebrew and you know anything about shin and sin, well, here's a shin and here's a sin, because you're attached to your angel. Man and angel, sin and shin. This also makes the sign of peace. The reason it's in a circle, because everything's inside a bubble. And it's upside down, and the reason it's upside down, because peace comes from God, and He's below us, but He's above us. He's above and below, and beta's in between, and so is man. Anyways, we're going to take a break right now, and if you think marijuana is not good for you, well, let me tell you one thing. You know anything about pressure and clutches? Well, if you put too much pressure on the motor, okay, there's too much pressure in the transmission, and you can't change the clutch. So the marijuana, what it does when you smoke, there's a lot of balls, empty balls inside of us, okay, and these balls have to be moved. By smoking marijuana, it lifts these balls, and you can go into different areas in your mind if you want to, if you know how to, and you hope, because I still don't know how, but I'm hoping. So by lifting these balls up, okay, by lifting the balls, the energy passes through. So now again, I'll get back to prostate. We're talking about all these balls and energy, what's actually going on. Does sperm rot? What happens with sperm? Does it rot? Is there salt in sperm? What's inside the sperm? What does the prostate do? I need to know the colors. You see, when I turn it to a page and they show me red, blue, white, I don't care what they show me. That's their setup. So I learn what they set up, how they set it up, and then I implement mine inside theirs, just like God implicated His inside hers and hers inside us, and we went inside her and we made a son. And it goes around and around and around. Ladies and gentlemen, Santa Claus is coming to town. Will he be on a reindeer, or will he be only in our mind? Or have I brought the message to bring him closer to you? Because it's all true. It all depends on you. Raphael 7286 for MrTacpans's. We're teaming up now because the porthole for me is open. In 2 more days, okay, it becomes vayera in the Jewish calendar. And my son had his bar mitzvah on Pasha Vayera, which was about, he's 20 now, 8 years ago, the number of heaven. My son reached the number of heaven with me. And now me, I'm going through the same number because my bar mitzvah was 40, I'm 48, 35 years ago. Oh my God. 3 by 5 is 15, 5 and 1 is 6. Man. So my bar mitzvah is 35 years ago, and I also did vayera. Vayera is a V with an A, the Y in the road, the electronic world, the R for the angel resident of the angel land of all of us. Vayera. Viagra. Prostate cancer. September, October. The September month and the October month for the octagon world, because we need more corners so we can send out more messages. So now I've got 8 corners of the octagon to fit into each 45 degrees to go around the world in tic-tac-toe and see what you got. But watch out, because it could be fun. The only roller coaster, just sign up. MrTacpans's. Winner knows all.